Hi YouTube, I'm D3. I wanted to make a quick video discussing my introduction to and journey through the Warhammer 40,000 hobby. For about a year I've been into miniature painting. I told a friend that I wanted to try it out. He said he had some miniatures and paints going spare because he was never going to get around to using them. So I said that I would take them off his hands. And what I would do is paint the models to the best of my ability and then donate them to the back room of my local game store, where people could play D&D in the back room, but the main focus was on Warhammer 40k. So of course I looked to YouTube because I wanted to learn how to be a better painter. And most painting YouTube channels, they focus quite a lot on 40k content. And then the YouTube algorithm did its thing. All of a sudden I'm being shown battle reports, terrain videos, and lore discussions on my main page. So I think, alright, I'll take the plunge, I'll try to get a better idea of what's going on in the Warhammer setting. So I watch Bricky's faction rundown videos with a mind to finding a faction that I think is cool and that really speaks to me. I should mention at this stage that I'm a lifelong lover of music, especially the loud and noisy kind. So I settled on the Emperor's Children, and specifically the Noise Marines. The army I pictured in my head was called the Vile Band, a group of Chaos Space Marines and their entourage that would touch down on human worlds and set up a grim concert of sorts, full of face-melting guitar solos and gladiatorial combat that would feed and add to the Song of Slaanesh. So, in June of this year, I bought my first Games Workshop models. It was from a Twitch content creator named O Mechanicum. He sold me a set of Necromunda Escher Gangers that would be my counts as cultist mob. I like the idea that they are essentially members of the ecclesiarchy that dropped out, essentially, perhaps swayed by the Song of Slaanesh. And they call themselves the Sisters of Sound. There's sort of an ironic callback to that. There was a couple as well, on this one, where the Escher Gangers have this kind of, you can't really see it on my webcam, they have the rebreathers and sort of balaclavas over their face generally. So what I did was I painted it to look like the speakers that you see on the Noise Marines that they've sort of replaced their mouths with, have grown onto the mob as well. Just a little touch of chaos, because otherwise these ladies aren't very, warped by chaos, as it were. In July, I bought a Kill Team Legionaries box, along with a pack of resin Sonic Blasters and one Blastmaster. On some of the models, I used the resin weapons, so like this fella here, that's the upgrade there. And on others, I converted the guns that were already on the Legionary sprues so that they look like Sonic weapons. You can kind of see that I've put like the a crosshair thing over the top of that one, and this other one that I've painted here. I've added one of the backpack skulls to the end of the gun. Generally to change up the silhouettes of each of the models and keep things looking interesting. I've painted those three so far, and I'm quite happy with the recipe that I've concocted for them. The last thing that I've painted is my Master of Possessions. So here he is. He's the band's MC, if you will. I didn't really feel like the standard Master of Possessions fit very well with my band's aesthetic. So I found a 3D printed model that was from Etsy. Had a bit of more of a bombastic feel to it, as you can see. In due course, I'm hoping to get a unit of Possessed that will complement him. Those will be the Moshers. I also picked up 2 Chaos Obliterators from Mighty Lancer Games in East Yorkshire. These were second-hand. They're already painted very similar to my intended paint scheme, though the golden trim is a little faded and in need of a touch-up. They also didn't have anything on their bases, so I've added a few rocks and broken fence posts to just cover up the empty space. I'll use the same muddy grass effect that I use on my Noise Marines. The last model I have for my band at present is a Chaos Rhino that I decided to try and scratch bash for no particular reason beyond the fact that it sounded fun. And it was a lot of fun. This is mainly MDF. The sides here are made of cardboard. The tracks are pennies. The lights are googly eyes. The symbol of Slanesh on the front is made with EVA foam. This is from a toy dinosaur that had guns strapped to it. And some of the bits are from the Legionaries kit, such as this Space Marine helmet and just the front of the porthole here. I'm conscious it looks a bit scuffed, but I think it adds to the charm, personally. In fact, I had so much fun with scratch bashing the Rhino that I wanted to try other things out. I resolved to try my hand at making something orky for October. Alas, I liked the idea so much that I started halfway through September. This is how far I've gotten on a scratch-bashed Gorkanaut. So his face is mostly EVA foam, although the gears here are the wheels off of the bin that you get from a junk box. You see there's some Kinder eggs and, you know, little treat packets there. This is a little engine from the junk bots. The body is an iced coffee carton. I'm hoping to sort of cover this in EVA foam, like over here for the gun. This is from a bubble gun that broke from my kids, and these are broken coat hangers. Following that, I also accrued a few extra bits, including 3 can-shaped bits from the junk bots box. And I'm hoping to turn those into killer cans as well. I really like the idea of like a backup orc army, orcs, that fully consists of their big stompy mechs, and on top of that being completely scratch bashed. Beyond the building and the painting, I'm very aware that I do also need to learn how to play 10th edition. I mentioned my local game store earlier. I have a few friends there that I can ask to teach me how to play. Of course, my YouTube recommendations are now full of 40k as well. If you have any channels or sources you'd like to recommend to me, please feel free to leave a comment or tell me what you're up to in the hobby as well. Let's have a chat. If you'd like to see more videos going forward about my hobby journey, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra.